But let's see then. Let's see. Please don't be faster. I'll be so disappointed in myself. This is actually faster than my actual lap time I did. Speechless. I'm actually speechless. Holy shit. What's up guys, Cammy here. Hope you're all doing awesome as always, and today I have a bit of a different video. I want to try to see if AI can actually make a setup for a car and maybe even be faster than my own setup. I'm going to put my own MX-5 setup against AI. So we're going to ask AI to give us some tips and tricks on what to change on the setup, or even maybe give us a full setup. It's the car I've put the most time in on iRacing, and I like to say that I'm pretty fast in it, but I mean, there's other people around, so who knows. But my MX-5 setup is quite different to the baseline setup.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Editor Cammy here. If you don't want to hear me ramble about my setup, skip to the time on the screen right now. Otherwise, you'll just be getting tired of me rambling about my setup and doing stuff. Enjoy.
I've put a lot of time into it to change what I want from it. It's a pretty all-around setup. I use it on every track and every race on PCC or Advanced Master. The changes include front suspension changes to the toe and to the sway bar. Change the ride height all around the car, so the car is much lower and the center of gravity is a bit lower as well. I changed the bump stiffness and rebound stiffness across the car as well, so all 4 corners are changed. This just aids the braking performance of the car so it doesn't sway around a lot. Changes in the rear suspension include some camber settings and a lot of toe in the rear. What that does, if I put a picture on the screen right now, what you see on the screen right now is 0% of toe. What people do in GTP cars, for example, is add minus toe in the rear to rotate the car a bit more. What I like to do in the MX-5, for example, and drift cars, is add some plus toe in the rear. What that does is it gives you side bite of the tires and pushes you out of the corners more. So that's basically my setup. If you would like to try the setup yourself, I put a link to my Garage 61 site into the description to where you can download this setup and the quali setup. Maybe you'll be faster in it, maybe it'll teach you a bit about the MX-5 itself, and maybe you'll enjoy driving this. Let's now jump into iRacing. I'll choose a track which I'm very familiar with. I'll choose the same weather for both tests. Let's set a lap time in my setup, and then we'll see how it goes with the AI setup. As for the testing environment, I'm gonna get out of the pits, I'm gonna do my out lap, and the first actual lap is the lap that is counting. I'm not gonna do any tire warming because I want to keep this as straight as possible. I'm just gonna drive around normally. The fuel is set to 7.6 liters of fuel, which is the lowest you can go in the MX-5. With that said, let's just do some laps. Alrighty then, here we go with the first lap of this test, which is with my actual self-made setup. I'm going to do a full lap. I'm going to try to commentate it, as you can clearly tell, which I'm trying to do right now. We'll see how it goes. So, going into turn 1, you want to brake a bit late, not too hard, and cut the pillar, the pylon you see there. Can't commentate while driving, I guess you can tell. Turn 2 is a bit tricky. You don't want to take it all the way out onto the AstroTurf because that's slipping. Braking into turn 3 is tricky. The car just likes to go. Take this out wide and then cut in. Just for the off track right here, because that's always something. Gotta love turn 5 and turn 6 here. Really 2 beautiful corners. I really like to drive them. Bit of understeer there and a slide. That's fine though. Down the hill up to the hairpin. One of my favorite corners, in my opinion. I'm gonna take a bit of a V-shape into it and out of it. Up to the Michael Schumacher S, flat out in the MX-5, just super easy. Keep fighting, Michael. Going down the hill again, up to P, Go up to the King. Up the hill, up to the chicane. Late braking for this one. Only drop one gear. Try not to get an off track here. Take the curb if you want to or not. Last corner. Maybe a bit tricky because you're trying to go in faster than you anticipated. Take the curb on the outside on the exit and go across the racing. Go across the finish line. We did a 218.334 with my setup. No warming up, no tire warming. I didn't do laps before this. It's just a raw cold lap from me. Welcome to ChatGPT. I wouldn't have thought that I'd ever do this, but I guess I'm gonna ask ChatGPT for setup advice. Let's start with a hello.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going? It wants to flirt with me. Can you help me with global... Right, so let's ask the first question. Can you help me with a setup for the Global Master MX-5 Cup Car on the Nürburgring GP circuit? I'm using iRacing as the simulator. It actually spews out a full setup for it. Jeez. Holy shit, I didn't expect that. Okay, so literally just whacked out a full setup for the MX-5 Cup Car. Final ratio, I can't change my gearbox. General tips.
What?
I'll just plonk the changes in and we'll see how it goes. I changed all of the things that ChatGPT told me to plonk into this setup. I'm excited to see how this will go. See how much faster we can go maybe. Or not. Let's drive. I have to say, the first couple of corners out of the box, it feels like the car has this weird braking issue back, where it likes to swirl around while you're braking. Not something you can't get used to or control. It's very controllable and manageable. But it just feels weird to me, and it just disrupts my driving pleasure. Anyways, here goes nothing. Here goes an AI-made setup for the MX-5. We'll see how it goes. We got this lap on the screen right now to beat. I hope it doesn't beat it. See how it goes. It feels really planted, I have to admit that. For the first sector, it felt super planted. It has some wonkiness to it. It likes to slip a bit, and like it moves under braking. But that's the tiniest bit of issue I see currently. And it likes to do that braking thing that I mentioned earlier. It depends on the corners where you take it into, to whether it'll feel worse or better. Where it can be used to help you with rotation or not. I just felt it get looser in the Mike Schumacher as compared to my setup. I feel like I can go earlier on throttle there in this setup compared to my one. And up to the last chicane here. Really excited to see what lap time this will be. Not gonna off track, but that's fine. Just a tiny one. If anything, you'll be a bit slower because you hit a big.
We're going to be pitching here in about 5.
Spotter. But let's see then. Let's see. Please don't be faster. I'll be so disappointed in myself. This is actually faster than my actual lap time I did. I'm speechless. I'm actually speechless. Holy shit. My setup was 20 milliseconds faster than an AI-made setup. You have to keep in mind, with my setup, I've actually put time into it. Actually put telemetry data looking into the setup to see what the car behaves like. I haven't driven differently or done any of my braking points differently. I haven't warmed up the tires or anything, as you saw. I'm actually genuinely surprised that a setup that AI just quickly came up with is almost as fast as a setup that I actually, like, in hours, possibly put in 7 hours. This is very interesting. So what do, well, mostly I, but what do we learn from this? AI is apparently a really fast race car driver and is very good at race setups. But anyways, if you think you don't have a setup for a certain car and you want a quick setup to maybe even get something out of it if you know how a car drives, I don't know what to say anymore. But anyways, if you like this very kind of surprising video I just did, why not just hit the subscribe button, maybe like this video. I know I've been slow with uploads and streams. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna put in more effort. Work has been really rough on me, so I'm sorry for that. But with winter time coming up, I'll have lots of stuff going around YouTube, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking this video. I appreciate you all, and I'm gonna go try why my setup is not much faster than this AI setup. And I'm actually gonna do it right now.